Hello, and welcome to TYS Reads Poetry or TYS Reads Poetry. I'm gonna read some poetry. I've done two of these before, and I'm trying to bring it back. So I have poetry here, some poetry, and I guess I'll bring up a little musing or a question after I read it. Anyway, let's just read this thing. This is my little book here where I just kind of write sort of in a stream of consciousness what comes to my head. So I'm going to read the last poem in this book. I didn't know how to finish the book. I was kind of waiting on how to finish it. So this is how I decided to finish it. It's as much a poem as it is a stream of thoughts, sort of pondering sort of thing. I'll just get into it, all right? Enough with the climatics. Okay. This is called 30. I thought lately about how life doesn't feel real, but what the hell does real feel like? Our brains, this consciousness, too wondering for our own good, too in disbelief, too nostalgic, too living in sorrow. When loss and misery come together, it creates sprouts under moss, disguised as fear. I know myself down to its deepest core, and I've been with me for 30. I think back to my memories that aren't really memories, but events. It's as though they were breathed into life. I blinked and they were gone. To wind up to this moment. Soon to be another memory. To collect in the trunk of memories. To be sifted through at the final event. I remember myself, my small, awkward self, full of many dreams and doubts and fears and strong wills. To think it's all led to this precipice, to this 30 years of memory, makes me want to be kinder, focused, fearless, myself. With each sleep, I come closer to a truth, and we lay our memories to rest as our hours alone. That last line might have been with each step, I come closer to a truth. But again, this is just a free-flowing stream of words. I kind of write with an idea in my head, and I don't exactly stop. And I don't go back to edit. At least I haven't yet. There's been a few in the beginning I've gone back to edit, but so far I haven't edited any of the ones in the later paragraphs. And this was just a thought, you know. I turned 30 and I was like, oh, perfect way to end this little poetry book with some musings about what it feels like to be here, to be alive, to be a person breathing and doing things and being creative, working and having hobbies and likes and dislikes. Wow, this is actually going in a direction I did not expect. So my question or musing was, I couldn't get my head out of this whole lockdown state of this virus that's going around. So that was the only thing I thought about, was how to stay creative in a lockdown, in isolation, whether you're alone or whether you're with somebody else or other people. Whether or not you still have to go to work, or you're working from home, or you don't know if you can work anymore. It's a very strange time. I don't know that anybody alive has experienced something quite like this. And not that it's unique in what it is, but it is unique in the time that it's happening because of the way the world works online now. Where's my go? I have notes, actually. I did write down some notes. How do you stay creative, or let's say sane, in a time like this? Some things that have kind of worked for me are to just find a space that's yours, and whether that's a room or that's somewhere in a corner or by a window or something, it's just the place that you know you go to, and it's kind of like you're at your zone in that area, in that moment. And headphones can be a really beautiful thing, as I've learned this past weekend, to drown out some other neighborly noises. But that's probably the number one thing, is to also find a quiet or just a space to your own, and sort of communicate that to whoever you're living with, or other people that you're around. Just let them know, like, I'm doing this thing, or I'm just gonna be by myself, or I'm gonna, whatever you're doing, if it's writing or drawing, or maybe you're just listening to music and you just need to look out the window away from the media and digital stuff for a moment. As it's only been like what, 2-3 weeks maybe since everything's kind of shut down here. That's the one thing that's kind of worked right now, and I'm still sort of learning how to calm my mind down. That's, I guess, the secondary part of what I'm trying to figure out, and that is just about reading less news and trying to do nothing and see what happens out of that. And sometimes nothing happens. Sometimes I just sit for 15 minutes and I'm just looking or listening to music, and it's not about like constantly creating or thinking or doing something else, but it's just about turning off. And I guess yeah, to stay creative, if that is your goal, if you're looking at this as I kind of am, as an opportunity to branch out and expand my creativity and take advantage of all of this time, is to just try to quiet my mind. And that's what I'm trying to figure out how to do now. A lot of times I'll go to my space and I won't do anything because I'm ramped up. That's kind of how I've been taking this. It's also day by day. So day by day, I've been taking it kind of slow in that sort of fashion. And that's it. I hope you enjoy the little poetry thing, stream of thought, and my advice for trying to stay creative or trying to stay sane during this crazy time. So that's it. That's it for this one.